Lesson 2, prototyping. Oh, great. Oh, okay. My challenge is to come up with my own invention or product idea, to design a draft prototype using Tinkercad and then evaluating my prototype. I will use the Dremel 3D20 to create a phone stand for my iPhone 15 to put on my push cart by creating and modifying it to fit correctly around the handlebar. In these 4 days, I will be able to create and print a phone stand that is able to hold my iPhone 15 and have a personal imprint if I'm able to. I will be able to complete my goal because I have the Dremel 3D20 and the filament and the Tinkercad app and the other knowledge to complete this. I'm creating this because I thought it would be fun to make, and if I can make it custom to me, I think that would be pretty cool. I'll also be able to use it while playing golf. We will reach this goal because I have the needed materials to do so, and I will have printed out a phone stand for my push cart. I use the Dremel 3D20 to create and print a model phone mount for my golf push cart that is able to hold my phone while I'm playing golf. This whole thing's about pretty much golf. That's like the one that you can buy for like $30. This is the one I printed. $5. Anyways, it relates to the real one because people use phone stands like that for like bicycling and using push carts and stuff like that. And yeah. I learned that taking something off Thingiverse is not always easy to print, and you may have to scale it up or down depending on what you did. And I had to make everything bigger for mine, and yeah. One real problem I had was the size of everything. I tried to make 2 pieces just a little bit bigger to fit my phone because the case is really big. And yeah, anyways, I had to make everything bigger, and yeah.
But what? What?
What'd you do?
I didn't do nothing.
Bleed on my screen?
No. Whoa!
Figure it out. Yeah.
Clamp.
Oh, forgot that.
Really stuck.
Anyways, the first day it took me nearly a whole hour for me to find the correct pieces and the correct clamp that would fit best around the handlebar. And yeah, that's what was in the file and stuff. That's what okay. I found the parts needed to print out and I downloaded the file. I had to extract them all from there and well yeah, they came out to those. And then in those you can find which ones you want. There's different kinds and stuff. And yeah, then you have to put them in Tinkercad, from there make them into an STL, and you can transport them to the Dremel 3D slicer, and then from there you can print out everything you need.
Rank. Are you serious, Rank?
I spent the whole day adjusting the size of the pieces. When it finished printing, I realized I had made the nut too small, aka this piece right there. I probably can't see it, but yeah. Compared to the rest of the other pieces, and it would not fit and screw on the whole thing together. So yeah, and then that was my prototype before I did everything. And then I finally resized all the pieces to the correct size. As you can see, it fits over there and stuff. And this was the end product for my project. And the clamp worked perfectly, fit perfectly around the handlebar. You know, doesn't move. So yeah. And then final product.
Alright.
I did complete my SMART goal. I was able to print out a phone stand that I wanted for my phone, and I was able to attach it to my push cart so I can use it while playing golf, which I already have, and it works pretty good. I would do this launch again. I would create a stand to hold my golf bag, like so I can put my golf bag in it in my room, and then it'll stay up and stuff. I was able to come up with the idea and then have something close to it that I could look off of and use, and I was able to resize everything correctly to fit. And the success I had, I was able to resize everything and everything fits and works on a mount, and I can connect my phone. And yeah,
Alright.
I think that's it. Okay.
Phone.
Not that show.
Morgan.
Okay.
Good rain.
Let's see how this looks in front of the big screen. Are you kidding me?
No. Why is it black on the tip?
It fit?
Black on the tip.
Okay, can you scroll through real quick?
Black
Scroll
on
through to the that one right there.
Drag
It's
it up.
all there.
Okay, everything else except for that vocabulary word is there.
Good.
Okay, now I'm ready.
Okay.
VexCode VR. My name is Morgan. I'll be using the VexCode VR technology, and I'm using Lesson 1 VexCode VR, Conquering the Wall Maze. Oh, look. My SMART goal. My challenge is to program a VexCode robot and test it out using the VexCode VR playground. I will use VexCode to create code to move a robot around a maze. I will also use the same code for other games that they have to offer. The coding is very different because the code needs to be perfect or else it will not function correctly. There are two types of coding, text coding and block coding. Text coding uses the text for numerals to code the robot. Block coding is a click and drag style of coding. I plan on making it through levels 1, 2, and even 3. Using the VexCode site, I'll be able to complete my goal and increase my knowledge of coding. I'm creating this because I love coding, actually. The coding that I learned can be used for making a game or a site. I will know when I have reached my goal when I have made it through level 3. Day 1, I will try to make it through level 1. Day 2, pretty self-explanatory, make it through level 2. And days 3 and 4, make it through level 3. This is an automated template. Okay, about my technology. VexCode VR is an easy-to-use platform that allows you to code a virtual robot using either a block-based coding environment powered by Stretch blocks or a custom-developed text-based FIDM interface. VR is based on VexCode, the same programming environment used for Vex 123, Go, IQ, and version 5 robots. Related wants you to the real world. People use coding for engineering, robotics, and even toys. Coding is usually used in everything like a phone, TV, and even cars. This launcher is called VexCode VR as a starting point also for beginners. I could create a game, I could create a game I could sell, or create a site that I can sell t-shirts from. The possibilities are endless. What did I learn? Coding the robot is fun but challenging. This can be fun but challenging. While typing the code, spelling mistakes will cause errors. What problems did I have? The main problem I had was getting the robot to move. You need to move the robot far enough around every corner to not hit any of the walls. The measurement is used in a trial and error situation. So every time you move the robot, you need to restart this program every single time to find it. And I did this about 47 times just to get it through that. The second problem I have is getting the code in the right place. If it isn't in the right place, the robot will not function. Successes. One of the successes I had was getting 3/4 of the way through the maze. The maze is also randomized. So every time you reset the ground, the maze changes. The second success was getting 33 lines of code done. The main process of coding. The process of coding involves creating instructions to direct a computer to perform a specific task. All software programs adhere to a certain coding principles and concepts. A basic understanding of various coding concepts may be beneficial if you're new to coding or if you want to improve your coding skills. Here is a line of type coding. What's a principle of block coding? Block coding refers to a technique of adding extra bits to a digital world in order to improve the reliability of transmission. The world consists of message bits, often called information or data, plus code bits. It may also, as in the present case, contain a frame synchronization bit. Block coding is an easier way to code for beginners. Block coding is a click and drag style of coding. You click on the code you want to use and drag it to the place you want to use it. Using this code takes away the mistakes of typing it out. Type coding. Type coding is a style of coding whose values represent a different names of code. It's a metatype. For example, a given code might have a value of XXX, which represents the type of command. One of the examples is float. The details of XXX are not particularly important. What to do next time? This one relates to a little bit of coding. One of the things I will do next time is write a song, or at least instrumentals for some of the lyrics that I have made. Like coding, you need to type the instruments out to make music. Conclusion. My challenge is to create a program my VexCode robot and test it out using a VR, oh my goodness, VexCode VR playground. Did I meet my SMART goal? No, I did not, because I kept on forgetting to save the progress that I have made. I would do this launcher again, because the coding side of things is fun to do. The things I like about the launcher is that you can learn a whole lot from just writing a simple line of code. The main success is getting very close to the end of the maze. The new thing I learned is how to measure my way through the maze with trial and error. I did not have a partner on this one. And that's my vocabulary.
On 3.
I think that was better.
2.
Once.
Brother.
What's down, brother?
Bartholomew.
What? Oh no, I forgot the R.
Bartholomew.
I couldn't even pronounce it. So.
Bartholomew.
Photoshop. I will use Photoshop to create a collaboration of images by blending and using the tools allowed. I'm going to go over here. I will be able to make one detailed picture and learn as much as I can about the software. I will be able to complete this goal by using Photoshop's tutorials and Google. I'm making this because I saw Brooklyn's project using this launcher and I thought it was interesting. I will not have a definite endpoint in my goal. I'll just keep tweaking the picture and adding different things until I run out of time. Yeah. Photoshop is software that offers virtually limitless opportunity to create digital art. Photoshop was created in 1987 by Thomas and John Knoll.
You want me to push click?
What?
You want me to click or you got it?
I got it. I think it works. Yeah. Relating my launcher to the real world, so I kind of just went into history here. Photo montage techniques have been used since the invention of photography in the mid-19th century. They started piecing together chunks of pictures to create collage. This gained popularity during the Renaissance in Europe, and combination printing was used at this time. Well, not at this time, but later on when film cameras were a thing, where they took two photo negatives and overlaid them, and then when they made them, it combined the two pictures into one. I learned how to work Adobe Photoshop Elements, but I also learned about photo montages. I learned that professional Photoshoppers deserve much more credit, because it's hard. I had some trouble adding layers to my image. It took me a minute to figure out how to use Photoshop, but it was easy enough to figure it out just with Google and other people's help. And I don't think we have the full version. We have like Adobe Elements or something. I added the finishing, smoothing effects to my Cthulhu picture. I added a lighting effect and used the blur effect to create fog. I learned how to use the smoothing tool. I also learned how to use the brush tool. I learned how to switch between tools, and I struggled to figure out how to combine layers, but I was able to figure it out. I learned how to blend my two pictures together better. This version of Photoshop seems limited. It would be interesting to see the difference between this and the full version. Graphic designers use Photoshop to make advertisements and art. People can use Photoshop to just enhance pictures that they took. I added a guy's face to my image, and I used the blur tool and different brushes to blend them in. I wasn't here this day, and so I searched the internet to find information about Photoshop, and I learned a lot, which I talked about on the other page, on my technology page. I learned how to add extra layers after combining the first pictures. I learned how to add more lighting effects to blend my images. I scoured the internet searching for images to add to my picture. Once decided, I added them into the picture. Today I added missiles to the picture on the top right, and I added a pirate ship coming out of the fog on the bottom left there. And this is each iteration. So we started off with just this octopus, and then the guy's face, and then the guy's face with the missiles and the pirate ship. My challenge was to create a photo collage using Photoshop. I met my SMART goal. I used each day that I was here to add new details to my collage. I managed my time well. I was able to add a lot, even after missing a day. I really enjoy working by myself on these projects. Next time I might try to remove something from the background of a picture. I was really able to be creative with this launcher, and I wonder how much better the expensive version of Photoshop is. Vocabulary. Yeah.
I clicked it.
Oh,
That's you. I never know if it clicks when it's already got a 1 and it's just 2 things because it never like spins for a while.
yeah. The other one,
It never really clicked it.
the other one spin.
Laser engraver. My challenge is to use the Muse engraver to get a better product every time I cut something. I will use the Muse laser engraver to create a few different engravings or cutouts of something. I'll be able to make one of these cutouts from Thingiverse with the laser engraver. I will be able to complete my goal because I have all I need to work, resources like the laser and the software that goes with it. I also have prior knowledge from using it before. I'm creating this because I want to experiment with the engraver and hopefully get a final product. I'll reach my goal by researching cutting on day 1, trying the cutting on day 2 and 3, and then finally doing something different on day 4. Muse laser engraver is a recreational tool used to create objects. Just you can engrave things or you can actually like cut them. Yeah. Yes. Big one, used for business,
Use for business.
and that's the one we have. Ours is different because it's used for like educational or recreational. We're not like selling stuff like those people probably are. What? That is okay. Other than that, you can add different color lines, and so if you have different color lines, you can change the power of like where that's cutting at, and it's cool because you can have it cut, but you can also have like letters written on something instead of it cutting all the way through.
Is it that airplane in the corner?
Yep.
Why'd you make it so little?
I don't know. It was a lot bigger, but I don't know. Yeah. What problems did I have? I had a problem with my two bills that did not fit together and were not able to be completed because of user issues. I don't know. I didn't pay attention, I guess. Oh. Successes. These are the two things that worked, probably because they did not include the building part of the whole ordeal. All these required was just the cutting, and that was pretty much just finding the laser and like the laser power and doing it. Fails. This airplane did not work due to it having to be 6mm thick plywood, and this is only 3mm thick. I did not read. Wait, is it called plywood? I don't know. That's what it said on the thing. It's just wood.
Plywood,
Yeah.
like
You didn't use the plywood.
press board.
Same difference.
Wood for ply.
But I
Use
missed
that
Stuff
plywood.
like press
It was
board.
meant to be 6mm plywood.
Wood.
Those stuff that we do.
I did not read the instructions because that was boring. I also made it a lot bigger than the import size, so it wouldn't have worked either way. Fail part 2. This cut did also not work because it's like 2 times smaller. It like imported way too big. Thickness was right, like it was supposed to be 3mm thick. Would have been cool if it worked, but unfortunately it did not. Other projects, I tried doing this big ship from Star Trek. I did not have a picture of it because it was after our work days and it's currently in the recycling bin. There were many pieces and it looked very confusing to put together. I think if I took the time to do it, it would work, but I also didn't get the, like, this was engraved and I didn't make the speed higher so it cut all the way through. And that's no good. And these are the final products I had. Although I only had 2 successful products, I still had pieces of other cuts. Well, I did have them, but now they're in the recycling bin. My challenge is using Muse Engraver to get a better product every time I cut out something. I do believe I met my SMART goal because I got 2 products that were successful. I will do this launcher again. In fact, I'm doing this again for the next project. I want to find a build that will be able to be built, like you actually cut out like pieces for it and build it. I like that there was no launches, so I could literally do whatever I wanted. Not literally, but I had success with the 2 products I got, and I learned that you can import cuts from Thingiverse, put it into the laser, and yeah. And there's my vocab.
Want one.
You want one?
Give me one.
Oh, it's wrong.
You win.
I wasn't quite sure if it was gonna be one or not. Alright, 3D printing. I'm gonna actually go on this side too. I see why now.
Yeah. Glare.
So much glare.
Could have closed the blinds.
Yeah, guys.
Anyways, 3D printing. I used the Dremel 3D 45, even though I used 3D 20 most of the time, and I used the Level 2 Tinkercad prototyping. My challenge is to create my own design on a 3D printer. My smart pole. Specific, I'll use Tinkercad to make a golf bag stand, a putting trainer, and a fishing rod rack. I will have a stand for my golf bag that'll be at least 50% 3D printed, with anything that's not printed having an designated place that I print for it to go. I'll have a putting training that covers the majority of the golf hole, so just the ball fits. I'll have a wall-mounted rack for my fishing rods to go on. I might also have some ideas that I will print. I'll be able to complete my goal because I have all the needed resources like Tinkercad, the 3D45, and the What You Should Know tab. I'm creating this because all three items have to do with hobbies I'm interested in, and I think they're good ideas. I'll design on days 1 and 2, then print on the final 2 days, and maybe even the reflect day. About my technology, I use Tinkercad and the Dremel 3D20 and Printer Library, but I don't know what it's called. Tinkercad is a site where the user is able to create 3D models, circuits, and more. 3D models can be exported to the Dremel 3D slicer and then printed on the 3D20. There are different models you can choose from, as well as the shapes, being able to add or delete space using the fold or the shape feature. I was able to make intricate designs by using the combine feature and sometimes having to use the separate. Relating my launcher to the real world, that's an indoor putting hole that I made, $3.57. Everyone has $3.57, and that's $37.89. Not everyone has that. What did I learn? I learned about the creative process and what designs I want to make and which ones I don't want to make, since I had to make an original design that made the process more difficult. I ultimately came out of this launcher with multiple designs that I'm happy with. That was my drawing I made of things that I was probably going to make. I didn't make one of them. What problems did I have? I had a problem that I did not end up solving, and instead that Mr. Ponzer had to solve. There's a small piece of filament in the extruder tip that I would not push or pull out. I had to print at the library in town because at the same time Logan was printing and Mr. Fossil was fixing the 3D45. My prints and their costs: my golf shelf was $427, fishing rod holder was $350 in total, indoor putting hole was $375, and my golf hole resize thingy was $280. And it goes by $25 per kilogram. My first print was the indoor putting hole that I can use to putt indoors. I printed this over a snow day because I had nothing else to do. I was told this counts for being during project time because it was after the planning day. My second print was the golf hole resizer. I can use this to help practice putting more precisely because there's less room for error. I also printed this at the library before school project time started. There's a lot of tomfoolery with this design, but I finished with a good turnout. It wouldn't flatten out like ever. I also took that picture at night because I had to take the picture when I took it. My third print was my fishing rod holders that go on my wall. I did make these in the school, and I finished the entire design in one day. I used one of the shape presets in Tinkercad, then enlarged it, cut it out where the fishing rod would go. You can't really see them, but they're right there. My last print was a golf shelf to hold a few golf balls and medals from golfing. This was probably my best print because of how much detail and thought I put into it. I have holes for a thumbtack in the back, and hooks for the medals, and a triangle support. My conclusion, I believe I achieved at least the main part of my SMART goal because I printed 4 different objects, even though I didn't print the golf stand bag stuff. I would do this launcher again, and I would not change anything as the storm days worked out in my favor. I had success in every part of this launcher and succeeded overall. I learned how the creative process works and a little bit how difficult it is to come up with original ideas.